Alrighty, I'm going to be doing the level 68 and then level 70 Carpenter quests. Different videos, but this is the level 68 Carpenter quest, Live and Let Dine. Live and Let Die, but Dine. Given to us by Koto Kaze, who is... I don't remember, like a front desk kind of agent at the Shiokaze hostelry here in Kugane. Here we go. Ah, Mercy, a letter from Cemi has just arrived for you. She hands it to me. Dear Mercy, I am writing to tell you that I have arrived in a tiny village in Yanxia known as Namai. It's such a delightful place. Every day I stumble across something new, whether it be the unusual materials they employ in their construction or the unfamiliar but delicious foods. Oh yes, the food here is exquisite, and the desserts are even better. In fact, the sugar-coated dumplings they have are simply to die for. I'll be sure to treat you to some when you come. See you soon. Yours truly, Cemi. Namai is in Yanxia. Yanxia is split into two sections. The bigger section is the one that has Namai in it, and then to get over to the other section, you actually have to fly around to here-ish, where there's a door. Not all the way. I don't think you have to go all the way down here, but I might be wrong. I don't think you have to go all the way down. I feel like there's a door here, but it's really annoying. Yeah, but once you're here, you can teleport to either side for 100 gil. And most of the materials that I've had to farm, like mining and botany, have been in this kind of section. So that's nice. Hey, Pegasus. Long time no see. Here's Cemi, Jinzhao, in the village of Namai. Mercy, how wonderful it is to see you. It's been far too long. Have you tried any of the local cuisine yet? If you haven't, I know the perfect place for us to start. I shake my head no and explain why I'm here. I don't know. I was planning to take you there purely to discuss business, I swear. After all, we're better to do that than over food. Cross my arms. She's like, all right. Your disapproval has been duly noted. Instead of going for food, let us search out any people who might be in need of our assistance then. Okay. Land shark. Cemi is talking to a man inside a kind of storage shack, just like a storage gazebo, kind of rectangular, open air, but has a roof, some barrels. His name is Raizan. Help? Yes, I could use some of that. You see, in the days before the Empire held dominion over our lands, I was a chef. While our freedom from them is fleeting, I would nevertheless like to use this opportunity to once again pursue my passion for cooking. As such, I have been thinking to open up my own restaurant. To do so, I would need to procure basic furnishings from my future shop. It is not a simple task. Most of what I have come across is either far too expensive or of poor quality. And you may be pleased to hear, sir, that before you stand two highly skilled members of the Carpenters Guild in Gridania. We shall see that you receive the furniture you require. You would do this for me? Most certainly. What kind of furnishings do you need? Apart from tables and chairs, I need something that would allow my guests to feel at ease. Those from the Enclave have different dining habits to those of us here in Namai. I would like to create an environment where both would feel equally welcome. Please, leave it to us, sir. Now, Mercy, what do you say to making things a tad more interesting? Let's turn this into a competition. I ask her, what the term, whatever. We will each make something for our client and present the finished product to him. He will then judge them and decide on a winner. I think on that for a second. Pretty please, won't you do it for me? This is the only way I can show Timbermaster Beaton I'm just as skilled as all the other carpenters in the guild. I nod. Aha, it's settled then, she says, jumping for joy. Go about making the furniture however you will, but I recommend you speak with the people here before getting started. Some have lived here their entire lives. Others once lived in the Enclave. With their help, you may better understand the subtle differences in our ways. Thank you, sir. We'll be sure to do that. Mercy, once you've decided what you'll be making, come and find me. I'll furnish you with any materials you might need. She goes running, cutscene, well, not cutscene, but scene over. We talk to Miyake, a Roganin, sitting here across the table from a human female. The only difference is that table manners are practically non-existent out here. The people have good hearts, but they have no sense of etiquette. They will eat their food on the streets and sip their tea in front of you. One should take their meals behind closed doors with family or friends. It would be nice if they would at least eat behind a partition of some sort and spare the rest of us the sight. That seems odd, but, different cultures, I guess. Not eat in front of other people, that's what a restaurant. Well, I guess some restaurants I have seen in the real world have been partitioned, so I don't know. Here's Inagara, who is tending to some fields, rice paddy kind of fields, or, very, very shallow water, and these green stalks, kind of, I don't know how to, fronds, I don't know, whatever. Kind of like the top of a pineapple, growing out, but not pineapples, because I would say that the people from the Enclave are more elegant than us. Never seen one with a hair out of place or in clothes that have not been neatly pressed. They place great importance on rules, manners, and fashion over there. Okay. I don't know what that has to do with anything for making furniture, but it's fine. Excuse me. And lastly, but not leastly, Manazuru. A young lady, just kind of standing out here by a wall of a house. Yes, I suppose you could say I'm from the Enclave, though I have lived here for most of my life. When I was young, my family and I fled to this village that we might escape Imperial troops. I explain why I'm here. Or what do you... What? You would like for me to demonstrate the difference in dining habits? I nod. I'm afraid that is not something I can help you with. Okay. I didn't really want that to happen. That was really a weird request, but I don't have any say in it, so back to Cemi. Ah, Mercy, have you finally decided on what you'll be making? My options are I'll be building the entire restaurant from the ground up, or a wooden shield to protect the food from, or ornate partitions that can be hung between each of the tables. Ornate partitions that can be hung between each of the tables. Partitions? But that seems so dull. That's not what you're really thinking to make, is it? Wait, you're not trying to lose on purpose, are you? Well, while I know I'm not yet as good as you, never did I think that you saw me as so far beneath you that you would feel the need to do this. I explained something more to her. My apologies. It seems I jumped to conclusions again. I know you're not the type of person to do something like that. It's no excuse, but lately I've been on edge. I can't shake the feeling this is my last chance to convince Timbermaster Beaton that I am a capable carpenter, worthy of being called as such. If I don't, he might stop assigning me work, and I may as well leave the guild. I shall not let it come to that. No matter what it takes, I must find a way to prove myself. Oh, I completely forgot. I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to blabber on about my worries. After all, you're here for materials, aren't you? Here you are. Feel free to come back if it's not enough. I'm just going to let you see my mastery and work. So special recipes, class, ornate partition. Partition materials, let's go. I don't need a whole lot of progress to the point where muscle memory is useful. So reflect. Innovation rotation. With a proc if we get it, but probably not going to get one before it's done, yeah. And then, I'm not level 72 yet, so I can't just do groundwork with a veneration, but I can do a veneration, and then a careful synth followed by a basic synth to cap us. One more video. My voice is almost... This will be... The last video after this one will be my 8th video of the night. And they've all finished quest lines, so it's a lot of talking. It's rough. But here's Ryzon to continue. Opening up a restaurant has always been a dream of mine. To think that it might soon be within my grasp fills me with joy beyond belief. Hand over the HQ ornate partition. Cutscene. It is standing, not hanging, but... what have we here? And she made what looks like a desk. Beaton appears from behind the partition and says, may I? Startling Cemi. Timbermaster Beaton! Timbermaster Beaton! She's shocked. This table is exquisite. It is extremely sturdy, yet manages to maintain a sleek elegance. And these Doman-style engravings that run up and down the sides of the legs. If I did not know better, I would guess they were the work of a more practiced pair of hands than your own, Cemi. She's gleeful at this. Now, Mercy, let us see yours. Ah, simple, but all the more stunning for it. The lacquer finish is a nice touch, a light gloss that is just enough to enhance the natural blush of the wood, but not overpower it. While both of these are masterpieces in their own right, I will say this. The detailed engravings on the table are something even a highly skilled artisan would struggle to recreate. Wait, so I thought that was a compliment, but her face fell. Huh? Did I read it wrong? What do you think, sir? The moment I saw it, I knew which one of these I wanted. Desperately needed, even. I choose. Cemi, braces herself. He looks to the table, nods, but then turns to the partition. This one. I'm gonna just grab this really quick. This is the only scene I could see. I probably have too much here, but that included both works and, yeah. Cemi, stumbles, but stays standing. Can't believe it. Doesn't like it. That Mercy is a better carpenter than me, I won't deny, but that she has skills I could only ever dream of attaining, I'll also admit. But I poured my heart and soul into that table. Sir, why is it that you chose Mercy's partitions over Cemi's table? Says Beaton. He nods. Simple, really. Doman city folk are a private sort. They would appreciate the way these wooden barriers would hide them from sight as they eat. The young lady's table is magnificent, a work of art even. However, it does not fulfill the needs of my customers like these partitions do. You know what, now that I think about it, the table, okay. It doesn't have what, American tables would. Basically, tables that you eat at, sitting in chairs, where you can put your feet under the table. There's walls. I mean, you could have a chair at either end. There's enough room to put your legs underneath. But I remembered that in a lot of Far Eastern cultures, you're kneeling on a soft floor as you eat. So your legs don't need to be under the table. A chair doesn't need to be under the tabletop. So, however, it does not fulfill the needs of my customers like these partitions do. Beaton nods. Cemi looks a little bit dejected. It seems the time it took to carve the intricate detailing on this table would have been better spent interviewing the local citizens. Cemi, do you understand now why it is you lost? You were so focused on demonstrating your own skill that you disregarded the needs of the client. She looks just dejected as hell, shakes her head, doesn't... Mercy, on the other hand, spoke with the residents of this village, which inspired her to create these partitions, a product that places the customer's needs above all else. In that sense, the difference between your table and her partitions is the difference between a decent carpenter and a master of the craft. I nod to him. That said, this is where your journey ends. I expect to see the both of you back in Gridania shortly after I return. No, it can't be. Please, tell me Timbermaster Beaton hasn't given up on me. Oh, what am I to do? She leaves the scene as well. Is your friend all right? Well, I cannot claim to understand what any of that was about. I would like to thank you for your wonderful contribution. It is sure to suit my restaurant perfectly. I give him a nod. And the camera pans up to the roof of this gazebo, open, rectangle, whatever, shack. And free teleport to Gridania, my home. It's been a while since I've got number 7. Do 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 do. Gothels, whatever. Where's Swift? Where are you? There's Lee. Swift. Stevens, no. Wait. Are they right here? Mm-hmm. Okay. Pardon me. Let's see. Oh. I'll go. Nope. As I approached the Carpenters Guild to get a cutscene. Didn't even make it inside. Now we're inside. An archer is here. A lovely lady is here. A lancer is here. Cemi's here. Some dude with a dagger at his back is here. The lovely lady is talking to Beaton. Timbermaster Beaton, thank the matron you've returned. The drawers on this desk you made for me are broken. Is there a chance they can be fixed? I shall see what it can be done. After all, I can hardly say no to someone who has so cherished one of my creations as you have. Timbermaster Beaton, sir, my son, he's just been accepted into the Order of the Twin Adder. Hold on. Losing my voice. To celebrate, I'd like to have you craft him a fine spear. Order of the Twin Adder. That is quite the accomplishment. Very well. I shall make him a one that will see him through all his battles. He doesn't talk like that. Why are these quests have some weird? This archer. Wait, sir, come back. I also had a request for him, but I suppose it'll have to wait. I should have known getting the finest carpenter in all of Gridania to make something for you wasn't going to be an easy task. The chipper chap archer. Excuse me, if you don't mind my asking, why is it all of you like Timbermaster Beaton so much? Says Cemi behind him. When you ask him to make something, he creates that item for you and you alone. She thinks on this. The archer turns and leaves. I'm looking over to her. To make something for that person and that person alone. Thinking back, that's how I first got into carpentry. I was born into a family poorer than dirt, and one where we couldn't afford to purchase even the most basic of furniture. My mother raised us by herself, working from dawn until dusk so that my sisters and I wouldn't go to bed hungry every night. As a result, she pushed herself too hard, and one day, the pain in her back became too much to bear. Everybody is still like around Beaton, talking to him, asking him for stuff. But Cemi continues, just to me. Seeing her suffering drove me to make her an armchair, in which she could rest from time to time. It was all the young me could think to do. While the finished product creaked and buckled under her weight, not for a single moment as I was making it did I lose sight of the fact that I was doing it all for her. I've been so preoccupied with myself, with trying to prove my skills, that somewhere along the way I forgot the most important thing. It is never too late to remember and begin anew, says Beaton. He nods to her. Cemi, the key to harnessing your own potential is to recognize what is holding you back. From here, you can only grow. She's shocked, but he smiles. Yes, sir, you're absolutely right. There is still hope for me. Mercy, thank you for supporting me until now. It is only because of you that I have come this far. I nod to her. In fact, I'd go so far as to say that our grand adventures together have made me feel as though I've been born again. I am looking forward to exploring the world of carpentry once more. I can actually feel my vocal cords constricting. She's not the only one who owes you a debt of gratitude. While I am skilled at working with wood, I'm not nearly so adept at dealing with people and their problems. You have helped Cemi in ways I could not. You are part of the reason I have such high hopes for the girl. With a mentor like you to look up to, she will no doubt flourish. That is why I ask that you speak with her one last time before you leave. She is outside in her normal spot where she counts wood. Mercy, you'll be happy to hear that Timbermaster Beaton has finally deemed my work good enough to begin taking on some of my own clients. Isn't it so exciting? That's not to say I forgot about my studies or the guild's troubles, however. In between commissions, I'll be spending my time practicing how to make oriental furniture. That way, I can retain all that I learned from our trips to Kugane and Namai. But that's not all. I'll be keeping the people we met there in mind. They'll help me to remember that I'm making this furniture not for myself, but for those around me. You'll see, Mercy. I'm going to work so hard that one day I'll be as good as you. 2,227,500 experience points, 2539 gil, hell yeah. 250 wind crystals, a Dolmen steel claw hammer. I've already HQ'd a higher level thing. We'll take the craftsmanship since I have a ton of control, even though this is pretty much obsolete. I just don't want to buy the better, higher item level stuff. We get groundwork, which I love. Next quest will definitely get us to 73. We just hit 72 in like almost half. Almost half. I'll let my voice rest while I post this video. Cemi and myself. Oh, can you just stop counting for a second? Just a second. Anyway, whatever. Cemi and I, even though she's busy, we say goodbye. We thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you soon for the finale of the Carpenter quest lines. Bye-bye for now.